From dating to relationships, from sex to love, from Christianity to politics, from darkness to light, you have now entered into the real zone. Welcome to Conversations with Trent, where no topic of conversation is safe from discussion. Now, here he is, Mr. Epic himself, Trent Williams.
God, don't give up on me yet. I know I'm not your best bet, but I'm trying. Don't give up on me yet. Ooh, and God, don't leave me here alone. I know I need to grow still, and I'm trying. Don't leave me here alone.
What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another conversation with Trent and his wonderful, beautiful friends. We got some good gumbo talk here tonight. It's a conversation I've been wanting to have for quite some time, maybe a couple of 2-3 weeks. We've been trying to have this conversation, right? We got on the politics side of things, and actually that's what sparked it, about this disdain that Black men have for Kamala Harris. So we'll be talking about breaking stereotypes, understanding the disdain of educated Black women by some, I say some, Black men. And I really want to have an open, honest discussion about this, man, because I think it's a problem and we should talk about it. I think we should really talk about it so we can actually take the rose-colored glasses off and have an honest, open dialogue, conversation about this issue here, you know, because it's kind of embarrassing to me personally. You know, you see these things online and whatnot, going back and forth about how they feel about these women. In my opinion, I think these guys are regurgitating what they're hearing from you know who. So let's get down to it. Let's bring the ladies in and get this thing started. Hey.
Well, hello. Hey.
Hey there.
You missing Ursula? Coach D, are you feeling better?
Yeah, fine.
Let me pull her out of here real quick. Go ahead.
Booted.
Ooh, we started off with a live one already.
I know, huh?
I know.
When she sets up there, I'll pull her in.
All right.
Just give me the peace sign. Let me know you're ready, and I'll pull you in. Guys, you're so good.
Listen, I have to tell you what happened yesterday when we were at the store.
What you got going on?
Okay.
So I took Xavier to the Ibisu Japanese life store, right? Because he and I are all about anime and Hello Kitty and everything like that. So I told him, I said, we are making bad financial decisions today, right? Buy whatever you want. Right. Mama works hard so we can do that, right? So we bought some stuff, and this lady looks at me and goes, how can you afford that in this economy? Looking me up and down. Yes, she was. She was. So I looked at her. I put on my best Canadian and went, this economy? I didn't know it was that bad. I gave the lady my credit card, and she just like, I'm like, girl, don't even start with me when I'm with my baby. How can you afford that?
So you ran into a partial Karen, huh?
No, she was a full Karen. She wanted to go full Karen, but I wasn't playing games. Not with Xavier with me.
Exactly.
Please.
Exactly.
Mind your own wallet, man.
How do you guys get all of this stuff even in real life?
That's real talk, man. Hey.
But here's the thing, because we went to the Towson store. So in Maryland, the Towson stores were like, if you're driving, you'll go Baltimore, York Avenue, needs to be paved. Towson, York Avenue, perfect. That's how it works, right? So there's a lot more white people. So we were at the Towson store. We got to the Rockwell store, nobody said anything because down that end, that's where black folk have money, right?
Mhm.
So, yeah, I was not. I'm like, girl,
sounds like me. Sounds like to me. I got my mentor, one of my mentors out of New York. When he come by the condo in LA, he would always tell me, "You're all the way up here in a high rent district." Sound like in a high rent district. They know what you're saying.
That's what it is. You can. Here's the thing: if you go to Google Maps and you want to go anywhere within Baltimore, but it's close to the outside, Google Maps will drive you all the way around Baltimore.
Exactly.
To get there. Whereas my car, my Elantra, drove me through the city. Took me 30 minutes less to get to where I was going. So Google's a little biased when it comes to its directions.
That's how you ladies doing tonight? How you ladies doing tonight before we get into this thing?
I'm spicy, so be prepared.
Spicy. Ooh. Okay. Oh, you know what? She's got her hair down. That's what happens when her hair is down.
Yeah.
So she's down. I'm up this week. Ain't no telling what y'all might get tonight.
It's all good. Definitely.
Ursula.
Hi guys, how are you guys?
Everything.
How's
good.
everybody? Am I loud?
Yeah,
Yes.
very loud. Very loud.
You have an echo.
Very loud. Turn it down some.
Turn the echo off on the.
I got it. We're good now, right? A little bit.
Come on.
That's better, right there.
I can't hear y'all that much. Okay, this is better.
Mm-hmm.
You're good. You're good. So good
I'm
stuff.
good.
Yeah.
Are you sure I'm still loud?
To me,
Yeah, it's got a little bit of an echo though. I still hear.
I feel like I have an echo too. That's a little better though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but turn it down a little more.
That's good. A little more. Don't touch the knob.
I preset all that stuff for you. So.
Hey, listen, things happen. Life be life.
Yeah, I know, but when you come into the gumbo talk, we got to make sure that volume is at 6 or 7.
I know you're a perfectionist.
Okay.
Trent, I just wanted to say before we get all involved tonight, can you please send me the link to the show? I have like people asking me for the link right now. I should have had the link.
YouTube. Conversate with Trent Friends.
Hey, Gentle Giant. Thanks for joining us tonight.
What up?
So maybe you could just, I'm just used to asking Ursula. So Trent, how about now you just on a regular send the link out?
Say again now. What you say now?
Oh, now I hear an echo with me. Why
That's
do I
all good. Go ahead.
Stop playing with the sound system?
Go ahead.
No, so maybe you just send that link out just in general every week.
Here's the thing. If you guys could actually go and subscribe to the channel, you can get the link yourself.
I have already subscribed to the channel, sir. No, don't take that tone tonight. Dee's got her hair down. I got my bun up. Don't start tonight. We hadn't even started. We hadn't even started the conversation.
Oh, good. You see what I got to put up with, ladies and gentlemen? I'm the only male on the panel here. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. It's all good.
No,
this is what you call dealing with
mediocrity is not acceptable, sir.
This is what you call dealing with educated Black women. So let's get down on this topic here. Breaking stereotypes. We're gonna break stereotypes because I truly want to get to the meat and potatoes of it all. I really want to get down to the trauma of it all. And honestly, for me, that does not serve the community by Black men having disdain for any Black woman. I don't care if she's educated, highly educated, whatever it is. It shouldn't be happening. that does not serve the community, does not serve the culture or anything like this. So I really want to have an honest conversation on why. I have my thoughts on why that is taking place like that, but I want to see what you guys have to say about it, and so we can gumbo talk this thing. So really appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in on YouTube, Taylor Kennedy TV, Instagram, all that good stuff. So really appreciate it. And actually, if you can't catch the show live, you could always go on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all this stuff, in 175 different countries and regions. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Any more self promotion before we?
And we got to get down to the business first. Now, come on now. We got to
All
get down
right.
to the business.
Hi, Mark. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Kathy. Welcome back. And Mark says we want the 3 degree. Am I missing something there? What does that mean? Is this some more inside talk between you and Mark?
Hey, man, it's all good. Hey,
What does it
Kathy from
mean?
North Carolina, how you doing, beautiful?
But what
Good.
does it mean?
Listen, men who can't be bothered to go to multiple places get stuff don't get 3 degrees.
Let's get down to the get down. So Shannon, if you will, can you
Yes.
please read the description for the folks
Oh.
out here?
You mean that long thing you wrote? Okay.
I would love to read it.
Yeah, Ursula, why don't you read it for us
Ursula,
tonight? That
you
would be
go
great.
ahead
If
and
that's
read
okay. If that's
Yeah.
okay with you, boss, if that's okay with you.
And you better know it.
You are really something, boy. Listen.
Go ahead, Urs. Go
I
ahead.
did a little rehearsal. We did a dress rehearsal on yesterday, so let
We
me
definitely
just,
did.
yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the description I've written up. Once again, Coach D has left me unsupervised, and these are the
Ready?
results. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, let's get started. Y'all, I'm just learning to read a couple of weeks ago, Mark, so don't be too hard on me.
Stop.
Okay? Breaking stereotypes. Surrounding the disdain of educated Black women by some Black men is crucial in dismantling harmful biases within a community. This issue often arises in dating and in relationships, where educated Black women are sometimes seen as intimidating or emasculating. I'd really like to circle the word emasculating by some Black men who may feel insecure or perceive their intellect as a threat, which does happen. The partner dynamic becomes strained when stereotypes clouds understanding and prevent the appreciation of each other's strengths. The end goal should be to foster mutual respect and recognition of the value of both Black men and women, of the value that both Black men and women bring to the table. By acknowledging and challenging these stereotypes, we create healthier and more fulfilling relationships within the Black community. It is essential for Black men to recognize and celebrate the accomplishments and intelligence of Black women, understanding that their success is not reflective of their own worth, but a collective victory for the community as a whole. This is bullshit.
Knock it
But
off.
I'm sorry, I'm just joking. G, you ain't saying nothing. Okay, as a whole, I'm just joking, Trent. But a collective victory. Okay, let's discuss. Let's have an honest and start forward, thought provoking gumbo with Coach D and with all of us. On the podcast tonight. Let's discuss that. I want to just say something before we get off.
No. Let me dive into it real quick though.
Okay.
But the reason why I wrote that up like that because I truly feel like that.
Yeah,
And
I know.
to me, it makes no sense going back and forth with with the sexes and whatnot. If she's highly educated, whatever it is, that does not
Right.
serve the culture or the community at all.
Right.
By saying negative things toward one another.
Right.
Preferably what we're talking about tonight, some Black men. So
Some.
I take issue with that. That does not move the community forward at all.
Mhm.
And emasculating men does not move the community further at all. It doesn't. So I want to get down to the meat and potatoes of it.
Right.
Who's emasculating men?
Yeah.
First of all, some women do that. Some women do that. In
How?
my opinion.
Yeah.
Ursula, you're kind of loud. You gotta turn it down.
I'm loud still?
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah.
Am I loud, y'all?
Yeah,
Ursula.
and there's an echo.
I don't. Okay.
So while she's doing that, Mark did, he said, Earth with the red frames, is there any political implications with your fashion choice tonight? And also, did Cardi B suddenly show up in the room? He says, I'm just saying, but I digress.
Who is Cardi B?
Some rapper. We're gonna stick to the topic tonight. I've had a message on this stuff. We're gonna stick to the topic
Okay.
tonight.
Am I
So
still loud?
yes, there's an echo, or so you might want to back out and fix that.
I don't know where the echo is coming from.
Just turn it down to a proper,
Okay, I know what you're saying. Right
all right,
there.
gotcha. I'm gonna pull you back for a minute.
All right. That's
Okay, so you're going to give us some context or examples on
As far as I
Emasculation
think
part.
it's we know. Come on, let's just be honest. There's
No,
some
no,
women-
no, we don't know. You need to explain.
Here's my thing. That's part of it right here. Here's my thing. Listen, just because a man disagrees with you on certain things, you don't have to go the other way with the conversation with them.
We
You
haven't
see what
asked,
I'm saying?
we haven't disagreed. We asked you to explain what
Listen.
you mean by women are demasculating men. You haven't given us an explanation.
Just to have a conversation with in public. Let's say that in public, right? Online, in public, since we're online in public, as far as emasculating. Have those type of conversations where he's less than, oh, he's not taking care of this, he's not doing this and whatnot. All that stuff, that's emasculating.
Okay.
All that's emasculating. And you know that's happening, D. Come on, man.
It's not emasculating though.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Having conversations where you put down other people does not take away their sexual identity, or that's not emasculating.
Give me an example.
Emasculating is a term that's used by people who have a tendency, who don't understand what emasculation is. Right?
Here's the thing.
Nobody's taking away their manhood by having a conversation. Right? They're bullying them, yes. Are they being kind? No. But it's not taking away their manhood. If we want to have the conversation, we have to be honest about the conversation.
Yeah, we are. We're not going to stick.
So
We can't hear him.
we can't hear you, Trent. Something's going on with your volume.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go say something else.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, much
Yeah,
better.
okay.
All right, go ahead. Well, let's just
So-
stick to the topic tonight. Go ahead, Shannon.
Well, I got this. So I was looking up the definition of emasculate. So it says two things. One is to deprive primarily a man of his male role or identity. And then the second one is to make someone or something weaker or less effective.
Thank you.
So is that what we're going with
That's
your
exactly what we're going
example?
for that part of it. For that
Oh,
part of it. Because we're going to take some shared responsibility on this issue here. There'll be some shared responsibility. It's just not going to be on one side. The way I wrote that up, and I wrote that up on purpose, as far as when we talk about Black men having disdain for educated Black women. I did that on purpose. And I used the word emasculate on purpose because I knew it's going to be a trigger for some people. But we got to take shared responsibility, how we speak to one another, how we handle one another, how we go about engaging with one another as far as the sexes.
We have to take some self-accountability for how we react, because nobody can take your power away unless you give it to them.
I agree.
So to say women are emasculating men and taking away their manhood because they're saying
some women.
We're
saying some women.
Everything's always a some with me. I don't have to. Everybody knows it's a general word.
I got
right. So, but here's the thing: we talk about the women. Why don't we ever talk about the men? Because you hold women very accountable.
This is going exactly where I wanted to go. The description that I wrote up is strictly talking about how men have a disdain for educated Black women. I didn't say anything about the woman, whatever it is.
You had a whole prelim, sir. What are you talking about?
And this is the only thing that you see? That's the only thing that you saw?
I've known you for 30 years. I know exactly what you're thinking. I know exactly I know where this conversation's going. You're not pushing buttons. You just
Okay.
made you.
Go ahead. What you
But
say?
being him is always pushing buttons, though. We got to give him that part. Mark had a question. He says, "Have any of the sisters watching been hated on because you're educated, or any of us been hated on because we're educated?"
That's a great question.
Yeah, I experienced it in my previous career. Yeah,
Yeah,
working
I still,
in an environment that was primarily run a white male dominated environment.
yeah. I get emails even now saying that I should dumb it down so Trent looks smarter.
No, you don't. Are you serious?
I told you I get hate mail all the time.
Oh
No,
my!
no,
So,
no.
So
so Trent,
I've,
Trent looks smarter.
I've only been doing this for 20 years.
Wow. Okay.
I need to
Have
do
you,
less coaching. I'm like, whatever, man.
That,
Y'all,
they you don't tell those folks that this is done by design? You
no,
don't tell these folks that that marketing plan is me? Wink,
sir.
wink, nod, nod. But no, let's go. Let's stick to the top. Let's stick to the top. Go ahead, Shan.
that would I mean I finished answering Mark's question. So either the other ladies have that experience.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Urs.
plenty of times.
I've had several experiences, but
That microphone is perfect. Leave it right there.
it's
Leave
good.
it
Okay, I
right
was scared to
there.
talk. So
He said don't touch it.
my experience with my experience with the opposite race or non-black men has been a respectful relationship. Um, I've had a struggle somewhat with people of my own race, but um, most of the time you could tell the way I talk. I will maybe come at you like I don't know what I'm talking about, just to like get some insight from you, and then I offer a better way, but I offer it and I put it out there so maybe you can think about it or it's just an option.
Right.
But I don't really force like if I know I got a better idea, I don't really force it on a person at all.
Yeah.
And that I think the beauty in that all is we kind of see where people are. I don't so in a sense you could say some in the past I've dumbed it down, but I'm more of a socialite, and so I want to know like how people think. So I don't always give everything that I know of. I'm just real chill because I really just want to. You get more with honey than you do with just being all petty. You know what I mean?
Well,
So you
speaking.
say you dumbed it down to make them feel more comfortable?
I've had to do it often, but I mean, I do it with everybody. You do it with kids sometimes. We do it with kids, with
Yeah.
children to get on their level to see where they're thinking, like to see, so it's just a thing that sometimes I like to do just to kind of get an idea where people thinking is. And then
Mm.
if I know a different way or, whatever, I'll say. And sometimes you meet opposition, but I grew up with my dad's a very headstrong man, and I had a conversation with him and he started crying. So
Before we
I
go
know
to
my power, so I don't take advantage of people because I know my power. And my dad is like a superhero. He's the strongest person I know.
I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and we were talking about this topic, and she suggested that, and she has a very high end job, and she suggested that some men, are intimidated by the education
Yeah.
if they're offering to read books with them or talking about different things, talking about culture, different cultures, and whatnot, and what have you. It's like for her, she's traveled abroad a ton of times, and sometimes she feels sometimes men get intimidated by those accomplishments or that type of conversation. And honestly, that's where I was going with that, with the topic, by men being intimidated by those type of women. And as I said, I shared a reel from last week from a previous podcast. Like, don't try and attempt to date in your realm, and in her arena. You know, not don't try and go into her realm of dating. If that's not for you, you should know that, hey, this is my elevator goes to 5 and I'm gonna leave it there.
I
You see
mean,
what I'm saying?
So you're
So
saying shoot your shot in the pool and within the pool that
within a pool that you're comfortable with.
you're comfortable with. Okay.
Yeah,
I,
shoot
But
the shot.
stay within your budget kind of thing.
Right.
you remember that movie, Woman King or Woman Hero or something like that
With
that came
Viola
out?
Davis.
Yeah, remember that
Yeah.
movie a few years ago? Okay, so I kind of think in some sense like when you're powerful, so everybody knows when they're kind of coming, they're approaching power. You know you're powerful. You know when you can command a room or whatever. You gotta know. If you don't know, then whatever. But you know when you can command a room, when you can walk into a room. And I've raised my son to really believe this, that some people will walk into a room and no one will ever know that they were there. But there are some people who could walk into a room and at least one or two people will be able to identify that that person was in a room. So people could see you without you being headstrong in many, many cases. So I've learned how to, work a room. So I don't have to be headstrong to get my point across. When that movie, Woman King, she knew her strength. And so she used it accordingly. That's why I brought up that movie. You got to know when you're strong. You got to know your power, and you don't need to, you don't, just because you are that. I feel like sometimes, we can take advantage of people because we know that, or like talk down to people. And that does border along the line of emasculating men. And
Yeah.
so when you know what you know, you don't need to take a dump on somebody because you know that. I think you need to fish in your own pool or play in your own lane. Somebody's a little bit less educated than you or function in a different way than you, then you don't choose to take advantage of them. And you definitely don't take a dump on them. Because I really do believe that education is one thing, being powerful is another thing. But at the end of the day, you never know, where you're gonna end up. So I'm always mindful how I treat everybody for the most part.
Kathy has an interesting comment
She
here.
she says, while not all Black men share the same perspective, she says she has encountered some who have expressed that she seems to have too much happening in her life. She says, I'm driven and determined and always striving to achieve. So,
And
Kathy, I did ask a follow-up question on if you could elaborate on exactly on what too much happening means or looks like when when you've had those encounters or experiences.
Well, I'll give you an example of one that I had.
Mhm.
So you know that I speak multiple languages, right? So when I was
Yeah.
younger, I was speaking French, German, and Greek fluently. So I was invited to a party at an ambassador's residence in Toronto, and there was people from all different countries. What I thought was a great guy immediately felt very inferior when I was able to speak to multiple people in their own language. And he's like, "Well, somebody told me a joke and we laughed," and he's like, "Well, you're talking about me." I'm like, "Well, no, what he said was," and I told him exactly what I said, and I told him the response, and it was just a funny joke. And the intimidation letter, just because somebody is able to speak other languages, I'm like, "Sir, if you're bringing people to an ambassador's party, you should expect that they would speak multiple languages
Mm.
because that's the
Absolutely.
level that you're at, and that's the level that you want. You want somebody who's building with you. You need to be at the same level that the person you want to build with is."
Exactly.
right.
And that's what I mean by when I say, you know that it's gonna be a little different for like one.
Trent, your audio was going in and out. It's like it's normal and then it drops.
Okay. So, like I said, that's what I was speaking of. If you're actually gonna, when I say different arenas, if you know that's not your arena, don't go.
Right. That's how I feel. I feel like,
You know what I mean?
somebody's out your league. Don't play in
Exactly.
that pool. I mean,
If you know
it's
that
it's
she's
not
out of
fair.
your,
It's not fair
if
to
he's
you.
out of your league, don't
We can't hear
even.
you, Trent. We can't hear you.
I can hear him. Or is
We
your
can hear.
audio? Yeah.
You gotta back out and come back in. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear. We
Yeah,
can't hear.
you got me.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Okay.
Mark did
Persecuting
have
police Disdain.
I know Mark did have a follow-up though to that question
I
because
can't hear now.
it wasn't
Y'all hear? I can't
yes.
hear you, Shan.
I don't know.
Y'all hear?
Trent,
Well,
can you okay.
I can hear
live
everybody.
feed going, guys. We got a
Hello?
live feed going.
I know, yeah. So, but he also wanted to know if we've ever experienced that with a potential suitor or from black men within our race. So, I've had both. I've had it from people who were individuals who were suitors, who probably we just weren't in the. I don't like using league because I don't want to rate people like that, but we just did not have we just weren't connected the proper way. I'll say.
I've had it with black men, but not men outside of my race, because there was an expectation of a certain level of because there was a level of education, there was a certain expectation of behavior.
Right.
And because I have a language degree, right?
Right.
I'm a linguist. I speak multiple languages. So there was an expectation that if we go to a party where French is bespoken, that I would be speaking French. That if we went to a party where German is being spoken, I would be speaking German.
You know, that is so I don't know. I wonder if there's a difference between culturally, like being here and then or being
That could be
up here in the US.
The US thing.
Yeah.
That's quite possible.
Interesting.
That's true. And I honestly, when I was thinking about this topic as I was doing the research on this thing, it boils down to, in my opinion, to the man being uncomfortable with that woman of color, her experiences and what she's accomplished and whatnot. It comes down to insecurities. It boils down to insecurities.
It's a little deeper than that, though.
Do you think?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So here's the thing: if we talked about the mother wound before, right?
Mhm.
So if your mother is emotionally unavailable, maybe she's emotionally violent, maybe there's all kinds of chaos and stuff going on.
Right.
That is trauma that affects that little boy child's brain on how he sees women. Because remember, you see women or men based on the people that you see growing up. That's how we choose our relationships. That's how our relationships form, whether we have a secure attachment or an insecure attachment or avoidance. So all of that, when you see as a child, later down the road, like if you have emotional incest or you parentify the child or the little boy becomes the man of the house, all those things have a negative effect later on. Right. That's why we're not supposed to do anything. Children should always be children. They should never be the man of the house. And how some women treat their sons like spouses. And I say it all the time, and Earth repeated last year, we love our sons and raise our daughters. Right?
Very true.
Anyone who says raising boys is easy is not raising a boy that's going to be a productive citizen that women won't have to.
And you're raising them to be a man, Yeah.
Slash has come here.
He did. So I think this was probably a response to what I was saying. So brothers have a specified dating pool to pull from. Yes, you do. He said, even though historically brothers have dated and married down. Is that financially? When you say dated and married down, is that financially, intellectually, emotionally, education wise? Which one? What do you mean by that?
I could agree with
that.
that.
Oh, wait a minute, Trent, because technically that would mean that Trent married and dated up.
I absolutely did. How many times have I said that? And I've written about it in these books that I've always dated up because that's where my realm is.
Oh, that's where your realm is. Okay. Well, if that's what helps you sleep better at night, we'll let you go with that.
Hey, I'm just saying what I'm saying. So, I mean, but I do believe that the majority of men have dated down.
I don't think so. I would disagree.
I know you would.
Because I know that black women are one of the most educated demographic in the United States.
Right. Go ahead. Well, repeat that again.
Black women are the most educated demographic in the United States.
I can agree with that. I saw some of that as I was doing my research on that. He says,
Do you think that this is now? I'll be honest, I have not really seen the any I guess the rhetoric or the things that have been posted about the black men who have any disdain or are not supporting the Democratic nominee for this election. But do you think that's what's playing into this is some of that insecurity or not wanting to acknowledge that she is qualified?
My personal opinion is that they're only regurgitating what they're hearing and not doing the research. Slash and I had a conversation offline about that, and I tend to agree with him now since he brought that up. Like a lot of that stuff is, ton of guys are just talking heads. You know what I'm saying? Like the only guy that I saw took issue with her and went back and corrected himself, self-corrected, used his personal chisel, was D.L. Hughley.
Mm.
And he admitted that he was wrong.
Yeah.
Because he admitted that he was regurgitating what he had been hearing.
Yeah. Well, that was like Janet Jackson saying she's not black. I'm like, girl,
Yeah.
like, have a
He
seat.
should have been the last person talking about that, though.
I mean, I love, I love me some Jacksons and Miss Jackson too, if he nasty, but I'm just like, as much as your whole family be trying to not look black,
Right.
don't say nothing, please.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Go ahead, Dee. I'm gonna just follow up on Kathy's response.
Oh no, go ahead, because I just lost my train of thought.
So Kathy, so this is probably her response to my earlier question. She says she's currently working on her master's degree and serving as an on-air personality and pursuing a new fellowship for becoming a school principal. Yeah, you do have a lot going on.
Another
she says,
beautiful mind. That's
She says, I often feel those innuendos are a cop-out. And she says, unfortunately, people just aren't ready and cannot frequent certain environments. So, that's a good question. I was just thinking, reading that, Kathy. Thank you for the response. Do you find other, let's say, black men who are at your level that are the men that use that as a cop-out? Would you consider that they're at your level, above, or below your level, ambition and drive wise?
Right. Oh, that's a question for Kathy.
That's a question for her. Yeah, because I sometimes wonder if the drive, having the ambition and the drive, can be intimidating.
It can, and I'm glad you said that. As you were reading her comment, I was thinking about how when Teresa was going for her doctorate, and she was super busy. While anybody who's going for a doctorate know that it takes a ton of dedication, a ton of focus, and you have to set some things aside. So at that time she was having a baby and everything. So the man has to be very comfortable with himself to, hey man, you got to pilot this plane. If you're dating or if you're married to this woman and she's going for higher education, you gotta pilot that plane by yourself. You got to make these decisions by yourself. But you have to know who you are before you could actually do that. But you can't take issue with her on certain things and whatnot. You got to be an independent thinker at that point, because that doctorate program is totally different from anything as far as going through any type of educational levels. But again, I revert back to, you got to be solid within yourself when you're dealing with a woman like that. You got to be solid within yourself. You got to know where you're going when you're dealing with a woman like that. And I think that's where, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was going to say the irony of being expected to lead when you tell everybody you're a leader.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, where you say, well, I was triggered. No, you wasn't triggered. You wasn't prepared for this woman.
Mm-hmm. That's a whole word right there.
Yeah, that's a good one. So Trent, this is a good way to pivot into. So being that you've experienced and you were married to a woman who was very driven, very ambitious, kind of the high hanging fruit. As a man, how did you not let that intimidate you, or intimidate you, or make you, or emasculate you, since that was your word of the night?
I walked into the relationship knowing exactly who I was as a man. I was already accomplished. I've already went abroad. I've already done the things that she was trying to get to. So I took no issue with that. Actually, it was more challenging for me, and I loved it and she was so driven. I loved it. Like for me, I enjoy a beautiful mind. So that was just gave me more ambition, and I love learning. I have no problem taking a back seat and learning from a woman. I think that's the most beautiful thing. As I think I was talking to Urs as we were prepping for this early in the week, and I started talking about, the situation I found myself in with this, partially paralyzed situation. Every single person that I've encountered on this journey are women that I've known for years. These women assist me with this platform. Everything that I got going on with the books, everything, I've only worked with women. Like my last editor, Michelle Kendall, out of Chicago. She edited my last book. She's edited several of my books in the past, but I've worked with women, highly educated women, and I have no problem learning from women. So Black men, that's part of the thing that we have to humble ourselves. We have to bring humility to the table. Like, hey, okay, it doesn't bother me that a woman is educated. It don't bother me at all.
And you know what? It's the problem is it's not a majority of Black men. The majority of Black men love Black women.
Exactly.
It's a vocal minority. They're just loud and wrong. That's all. Am I echoing now too?
Yeah.
I never.
I'm wondering if it's the platform.
I don't, because my stuff completely went out, so I unplugged it, Trent. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's cool. No problem.
It's not working, and I feel like I'm not getting any work done tonight. I'm too loud.
No, you're perfect now.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
but we're gonna continue to push we're just gonna push through.
Okay.
All right. So Kathy provided a response. She said some of the men are on both sides of the coin. She said, however, it's hard for her to be with a man who does not have a plan, drive, etc. Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Kathy. And she says, I'm not in the business to build a man. None of us are.
That's interesting.
Yes,
that's true though.
Not at this grown age. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I want to go back to last week's topic just for a little bit, and go from there to like 8 years ago when Donald was running for president, and I forget. Wait, hold on. I forget. It was the
wait. But we're not gonna give him a lot of energy tonight.
No, I'm not giving it. I'm not talking. What I want to talk about is initially, like when who did Hillary run against? Anyway, that whole little thing with a woman being president, it divided a lot of the Caucasian people household, right? And so because actually the same people, in a sense, they other cultures go through the same thing with a woman being a leader, in a sense. Other people deal with the same thing. Like they don't want women, telling them what to do in a lot of cases. So it's, I know this show is predominantly about, African American people, but I just want to point out that our races are the only ones who struggle with that. There's other races who struggle with that, because that's what happened during the Hillary Clinton regime. She didn't win, but it was a lot of division during that time, I
appreciate the
even more so.
I appreciate the alley,
mm-hmm.
But that's what I meant when I said that these guys are regurgitating what they're hearing. This is predominantly a European thing.
Mm-hmm.
As far as women, and whatnot, knowing their place and all this other stuff, and men have an issue with women. This is predominantly a European thing. But
yes,
you made my point.
Right.
Black men are regurgitating what they're hearing.
Right. And so it really does. I was spending quality time with my son, and we was really having a conversation about that, like, how divided especially African American people are. And that is really, like, we have no place to be divided. We don't even have time for division because I'm going to talk about that wealth thing. But anyway, I'm not getting off into that today. Yeah.
Okay, so Mark has a comment here, and Coach D, it may be a follow up to your statement earlier about Black women, being the most educated demographic. So he said, compared with Black men, Black women are highly educated more than women of other groups compared to the men in those groups. But compared with white and some Asian women, Black women have fewer degrees on average because of structural racism. Compared with Black women are, oh, sorry, he duplicated it. So the last part of his comment was Black women have fewer degrees on average because of structural racism.
Right. It's so sad because, man, at the end of the day, you see, and I see it from both sides, because also some of the African American our sisters that's educated, you have to be a little bit more graceful with the knowledge that you have. You don't have to run around here just like talk, putting people down because you do have a degree, because we all know that degrees are great. Now, I don't take from anybody. I'm sure majority of the people on the panel have some sort of education. But at the end of the day, we all know that classroom is great, but a lot of the lessons you learn on a job. So, I mean, knowledge is something that is learned. You can go and take on European way of learning, but and I don't want to discredit that, but they had natural healers before we took on the Western society way of taking care of ourselves. So, and we're talking about that's the highest education is a doctorate degree or whatever.
But I knew that this topic would be a touchy one. I really knew that. And just like D, she caught both my hand in the cookie jar. She know I'm writing for triggers. So, but I knew it was going to be kind of tough for certain people and whatnot. But it's a conversation that needs to be had.
That's true. I want to maybe circle back, since we have about 13 minutes left at the end of the show. But when we get back to the part about the emasculation and things of that nature and how we're talking to people, and I think that a lot of it and on both sides is how we are communicating with each other. So I'm interested in educating myself from a male perspective, and for the men, for our viewers, our male viewers, if you want to chime in and give feedback, that would be great. But if you were to help women, to let us know, what is it that we do, or that some women may do, that comes off as being emasculating to you?
When you talk down to them in a certain manner.
Can you give an example, please?
Especially if you're in a room full of folks and you're talking down to them. That's a no-no. That's a no-no. As far as
what's an example? We need an example.
Give an example of if you're on a certain topic, right? And we're talking about, let's say, a current events, and you tell him in front of the company, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're talking about. That's a no-no. That's a no-no. I've seen that happen in situations. I've been in rooms where women have emasculated their husbands. I've seen that. And I'm like, dude, you're not about to speak up? You're not about to say that?
I've seen men say some pretty nasty things to their wives too.
Me too.
We're not talking about men though. We're talking about women.
But part of, honestly though, to piggyback off of what she's saying, not trying to take a dump on you, friend. What she's saying is that it's born. It has a birthplace. That the reason why you see women do that sometimes.
It don't matter to me where it comes from.
Trent, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I was just asking a very straightforward question, just from the male perspective, as what are things that some women do that are considered emasculating to them? Okay. That's all. Okay. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen on both sides. We know that men can be very degrading and disrespectful to women too. But I just because I did also see some of the things that feeds into another question I have, I guess, that could go into this, is that besides the emasculation part of it, let's go on the inverse. Just because I want to build the unity between the sexes, outside of the election, which is 2 days away.
Okay,
But
Gandhi.
what are the things? What characteristics then would make women more attractive to men? Not their physical stuff, but those things on the inside, so that make us more attractive and appealing to you.
Come with a softer tongue.
Okay.
Come with a softer tongue.
What do you mean by that?
And I'm only speaking for the men since I'm the only man on the panel.
Yeah,
I don't have these
your
issues,
brothers
but
in the comments ain't said nothing.
yeah, I don't have these issues, but here's my thing: you come with a softer tongue. You know what I'm saying? You don't. Everything doesn't have to be bitter. Everything doesn't have to be your experience, your past experiences. This is what I'm gathering. Like you guys are responding from past experiences. I am not him. That's your past.
You are him though sometimes, sir.
Can you stop telling people how well you know me?
We want to be honest. We want to be transparent. But here's the thing: when you talk about a softer tongue,
yeah,
what we need to do is we need to have a conversation about communication.
yeah.
Right? It goes back to communication. Like there's a fabulous book I've mentioned before called Nonviolent Communication, where you use I words instead of you words, so you don't put people on the defensive and all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
But here's the thing: if somebody has not done their work, no matter how you speak to them, they may think that you are talking down to them or demasculating because of their insecurity.
right.
So we have to be careful when we tell people to use a soft tongue because we don't want people to dim their light because somebody else has insecurities. Because what's going to happen is that person who is dimming their light is going to regret what they're doing eventually. You know, if you're going to say it, it's going to come. I'm going to have to coach you on it.
So, and that's why I say you gotta fish in your own pond. Like the thing about that is if you like a certain type of fish, you gotta go over there and catch
the fish.
You can't be in a river looking for fish that you catch in the Gulf. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Like
that goes for women. That goes for women too. Now, women can't be.
I agree.
We can fish. So we can really fish anywhere. Honestly,
we really
regardless.
To some
regardless.
Men, y'all go over there and swim the Mississippi River. Y'all go to Mississippi River, but y'all can't come out to this Atlantic.
I will tell you this.
Come on now.
Sir, the fact that the hoes sometimes be winning in our society tells us that it really don't matter.
You know what, Shan? I'm gonna tell you this right here. I sort of kind of really agree with what you're saying. We can kind of sometime in some sense fish wherever. And let me tell you, only why I'm going here with this is because people do what they want to do for whom they want to do it.
Bingo.
You know, people, everybody have, we talked about this before, D, where somebody said, oh, girl, he take out the trash every morning. Say he take out the trash. He never took out the trash here. You know what I'm saying? Girl, he be doing the laundry, he be mopping and shit, doing all kind of stuff. Give me the whole check. He give you the whole check.
I'm glad.
If he could, he would. Yeah.
I'm glad you said that, Urs. Let me pick it back off of Urs real quick. I'm glad she said that. There's a pool of guys who need to be needed.
Yeah,
we talked about this earlier. There's a pool of guys who need to be needed.
That's not the phrase you use, but I'm glad you changed it up.
I have to. I can't be out in these streets saying what I'm saying in private. But there's a pool of guys who need to be needed. You know what I'm saying? So there's a totally separate pool of guys who need to be needed, who need the woman who's needy. Mm-hmm. That guy needs that woman who's needy. So I don't even know those type of guys like that.
I know a couple. I know guys some, but I know them.
Boy, that's a whole. They gotta. That mean they have to like really be actors because you're not gonna be able to keep up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
listen, I got a friend who has got damsel in distress down to a T.
That's why relationships are doomed. Listen, that's why the relationships become doomed because no one's being transparent in that relationship. No one's getting naked and fixing everything on the table.
I feel sorry for you because
Yeah,
you're
I'm
going to not be able to keep up. You shouldn't even been over here, really.
I don't know.
But
I've seen it work. I have a
here's the
friend
thing.
who
Here's the thing,
listen,
though.
man.
Those type of guys, just like Mark was saying, are dating down. Those type of guys are really dating down.
Does dating down for men make you feel more powerful or important, or does it boost your ego? Like, does it make you feel more
Dating
elevated?
those type of guys makes them feel better. Dating a woman like that,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Yes, it's just very interesting to understand how the male psyche works and
Yeah,
how you
because
guys think
some
at
men do
times.
date down. Some men do date down. I know one in particular that dated down and it lasted about 3 years. And I was telling him when he first introduced me to her, I said, you know, you're the upgrade, right? You do know that you're the upgrade.
He
Yeah,
was
but
the prize. He was the prize.
yeah, but she's driving a Benz. I say, but that's a C class. You're the prize. You're the upgrade. You're the upgrade.
No comment.
Shannon, leave that alone. You know too much
No
about business.
comment.
I don't understand that. What she had before? Before she had him, and he's the upgrade.
Say again now, I'm sorry.
What did she have that he is the upgrade?
She didn't have nothing prior to him. But trust me, he was the upgrade. We'll move along.
It's not my place. I'm not even gonna say nothing. Let me
Stop
shut
it,
up.
Shannon.
I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Well, part of tonight's conversation and why we stuck on this for so long was we were supposed to be talking about the whole power of the P and the D, but our guest was not able to make it tonight, so I think we're going to be pushing that back to next week. That person can join.
Well wishes to you, brother. Thinking
Yeah.
about you. Well wishes to you.
But part of that when I say that women, and this is just me being the toxic me, this is not the healed work chisel stuff.
Oh, this
But
not
part
Sister
of the
Jennifer.
part of the reason women can go anywhere is because of the power of that kind of stuff.
Ain't that so?
Well, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
Oh, I do. There have been wars fought. There have been kingdoms lost. There have been thrones that have been denounced before it. So yes.
What you got to say about that, D?
She's right.
I knew she was gonna say it. Go ahead.
I'm just saying.
Do tell, D. Do tell.
I think Megan and Cardi B said it best. It's the walk.
Do tell.
Never mind. We'll talk another show.
I would say something, sir, because I recall a certain sir driving through a snowstorm to go to Toronto. So
Oh.
I got some books here tonight.
D. Okay, we'll save it for that show. Yes, good. Thank you, D. Don't forget that story.
Well, it was a snowstorm headed to Toronto. Yeah.
You was driving in a snowstorm.
I wanted to get there.
Okay.
They must. What they had you? That's like trying to get to the goal at the end of the rainbow.
Yeah.
I'd already.
I tried to warn him to be careful where he's going because just got to dig himself a hole.
I mean, hey! I just had to get to it. That's all. Let's just say I never said that I had clear immunity from the power of the P. I never said I had.
You tried to separate yourself as far as you could from this
because I know she got ammunition on.
So
she
we need to see if we can get somebody else on here. Any one of your ex-wives available?
I'm sorry.
Are any of your ex-wives available to come on?
Oh,
that's a lot. That's asking for a lot.
Yeah,
I think we'll probably we're able to get one of them on, but I think we ain't gonna be too.
Oh, we could definitely get the showstopper on.
Bring her on.
We can get the showstopper on.
Okay.
Well, what would happen on the other side of that?
I'll see her in a couple of weeks, and we'll plan and we'll schedule for it.
And what would happen on the other side of that?
Nothing. I mean, we're great friends, so we can get the showstopper on.
Okay.
I'll see in a couple of weeks, and we'll schedule it.
Oh, that was a great intro for you to be playing Dougie Fresh right there, the showstopper. Yeah. Anyway, I digress.
And you know why I call her a showstopper.
Say that again.
You know why I call her showstopper, right?
No, why?
She was the one of many. She was the one of a few who could actually get me to slow it down and cool my heels.
The one of many.
One of let me stop talking. Finish talking. Let me stop.
I'm done. This is going to be a really great show. We're done with the Mark. We're done with the topic. We're done. It's 9:00 now, sir. So we're transitioning to be.
So she was the one who was able to get him to go to the altar and get married. That's what he's trying to say.
He didn't give up. I don't know why he be trying to make it seem like he gave up some doggish ways. Read the book, people. Read the book. He was getting married.
That's about it.
Read the book, people.
Be quiet.
They read the book. They got the books. You sold the books. They all know.
Hey, if you didn't want us to talk about the books, you shouldn't have sent it to me.
It's all good. All good. Okay.
Hey,
Speaking of books,
all out there
the
on
recovery is
Amazon,
out
Barnes
now.
and Noble.
Speaking of books, can I get a chance to promote here? Can I promote on you guys?
Please
platform
do.
here?
Go ahead.
Okay, I appreciate it. The recovery book out now. Barnes and Nobles, Walmart, everywhere books are sold. Over in France, Germany, all that good stuff worldwide. The recovery book. It speaks on my process through recovery, my continual process. It's a continual thing here, so it's not just a one and done. So I thought about writing this book while in recovery for people who haven't gone as far as I've gone. So I blaze that trail instead of the fire so you can find your way. Good stuff.
How is your recovery going? By the way,
Going
yoga.
well. Going pretty good.
You know, a lot of black men don't do yoga. I just went a couple of weeks ago and I'm like, you know, black men don't do yoga.
It's a beautiful thing.
It really is.
And I tell people all the time when I'm speaking to folks, yoga saved my life.
It does. It does.
Myself, and yoga's a beautiful thing. Good thing. Real good thing.
Your cheerleader said, "What other author has theme music?" We might need to work on that, though. Yeah.
Oh, I got theme music.
Might need to work on some updates and changes to it. Yeah, but anyway, but you have another. So the recovery book is out now, and then you also have another book that's coming out too. Is it springtime, 2025?
Yeah, it'll be in the spring. It'll be in the spring, and that's actually the book that my faithful readers, were actually looking for. It's going to be the third and final installment from this book, Chapter the Delta, the return of Romello's journey. So it talks about all the drama. Romello got into some things as well, even from a wheelchair. So Romello was still, inside there. So it's a good thing. It got some drama in that, but I wanted to give people the recovery book because it's helped people. But the drama, you guys going to get it in the spring. You'll get all that dirt and all those different women in Romello's journey. So good stuff, real good stuff.
That's gonna be a good book. That might get turned. We're gonna try to get. I'm gonna work on your movie deal. That drama.
I sent Shannon an excerpt. I let her check it out.
How was it, Shannon?
He's got a very vivid imagination.
That would not surprise me.
D, you gotta stop.
He's got a very vivid imagination.
But I do big up you guys for remaining on this journey with me, and I did this topic tonight, to show folks, to show people, men in particular, that there's nothing greater than a beautiful-minded, intelligent Black woman, because that's all I have supporting me. A Black, beautiful-minded women. So, kudos to those ladies. They made the recovery book in this one and Romello's journey. So I got a great support team, man, full of women, and it's solid.
Yeah, you told me that this week. We were talking like some of your most closest supporters are women,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, let me cause some trouble. So the election's coming up Tuesday.
Yeah.
I've already voted, early voting. Got my early vote. I got my sticker down there. So remember, if you're voting by who shall not be named, then you're voting with the Klan, neo-Nazis, and the Proud Boys. And either you condone it, you're complicit, or you're a coward. So get out there and vote the down ballot, because those matter. Who's your county judges, who your board of elections, and all the amendments that are out there. So get out and vote. Don't tell me you didn't vote, because we're not going to talk anymore.
See how I roll with these beautiful.
Wait a minute. You know I gotta throw the petty in.
Go
in here.
ahead.
I got to put the drama back on the table, because one of the last shows when we were talking about this, I asked Ursula was she voting, and she nicely sipped her cup on me.
But she said she's going to vote the down ballot because it was important, because she wants to work on that wealth disparity.
I'm going to vote.
Those people are the ones who work on it, right? Who's your county judge? Who's your county sheriff? Yeah. Who's your board? Your school board? All that stuff.
And Urs, I got to tell you, and I'm gonna let you say what you got to say. But I got to tell you, I got some flack for having a MAGA on the panel. They said, "Man, I didn't even know you was rolling like that. What you doing with that MAGA girl on there?" I'm like, "What?" They came up.
They said Ursula's the MAGA girl.
They said Ursula's the MAGA girl of the crew.
I think she's more independent than anything, aren't you?
I'm independent.
Yeah.
I'm independent.
Thank you for clearing that up, because I was getting some phone
But I said that when we first started discussing the election a couple of months ago. I said, in order to vote in the last election, I had to switch to either Democrat or Republican, because you can't vote independent. Like
in the primary.
You can't vote.
Do me a favor, Doris. Do me one favor.
Mm-hmm.
Pronounce her name.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God! No, you're just being petty.
I'm not doing that. So but I will say,
thank you for voting, Ursula.
I'm gonna vote.
Thank you.
And I'm not part of the people who will vote. I'm just gonna say, Louisiana is a Republican state, and it's unfortunate because New Orleans is a Democrat. Is a Democratic
parish,
but Louisiana is a Republican state. Absolutely. And I'm sure like that happens often in the election, where you have a Democrat president that will not really show up for us like they should a lot of times.
Like the numbers are not there.
Because we're a Republican state, but the people who need the attention are the Democratic people here. And so you see it's so raised and so clear how it looks overall for the somewhat poor and disenfranchised people. And so, that's really like I need to get into politics, I guess. But
I'm glad you brought that up, because I had an experience on yesterday. I'm glad you brought that up. I do a lot of everything I do in the Metairie area, over in the Harahan area, right? So yesterday, I was in the Harahan area, and those in the surrounding areas of New Orleans and Jefferson Parish know what Harahan's about. So I'm looking at all the amenities and all the upgrades that are taking place in Eastern Jefferson Parish. Mm-hmm. We're in Western Jefferson Parish, right? Mm-hmm. And so I'm going by looking at this stuff, and I thought about the West Bank Heritage Festival. Mm-hmm. Okay. And here's the thing. Eastern Jefferson Parish, they get all the upgrades. Yeah. Water consumption, everything. Yeah. New water line, everything, right? Yeah. 3rd District. And I'm going to call them out. 3rd District. Y'all know the councilman over there.
They don't do shit.
3rd District.
Don't do
all
nothing.
All you get, the Heritage Festival, drink, put it in your face.
Call them and write letters to them and vote them out.
Exactly.
Well, as he said,
it matters so much. Like Congress makes the laws. Congress makes the laws. You have to get your state senator. If you don't, you got people who are voting against their own best interest because they're voting for party versus country, right?
Break it down for them, D. Break it down.
Here's the thing. Everybody talks about the border bill, all these illegal immigrants. There was a border bill written by some of the most conservative Republican members of Congress, and Trump told them to kill it, and they voted against it. It would have solved the problem because that would have took border. Here's the thing. It would have took borders off the election, and it would have made it harder for Republicans to win.
So that's my whole point as I was talking about the Harahan, Eastern Jefferson compared to 3rd District Jefferson. They know what I'm talking about. So
Right.
all the 3rd District gets is a heritage festival annually, drinks and food. You're voting against your own thing, people. You really
I
are.
wanted to.
You're voting against your own community.
I want to. I got
That is not an upgrade.
right.
Drinks and food and entertainment is not an upgrade.
But sometimes people think that's all we want to do is party, drink, dance.
Exactly.
We don't even my parents, you seen it, they don't even have a decent supermarket in a community. And as a child growing up in that same community, Mike knows what I'm talking about. There were 3 supermarkets you could have gone to. 3.
Yeah.
And now there's not even a decent supermarket.
At
Now
all.
they say Cynthia Lee Shane or whatever was trying to address this, but I wanted to bring out 2 things. I really needed to talk about these 2 to 3 things. I'm not gonna say who you should.
We got too much time.
I know, but I want to say I want to say it really quick. So, if you remember during the last election, President Biden or Joe promised to do some student loan forgiveness, and people had to really hold his hand to the fire on that. Just in this election, we're talking about the economy and the increase in just the economics. Like people are like it's really hard right now. Like so, well, a lot of people are saying that it's hard, and the price of housing is steady increasing, or the interest rates are at an all-time. They were at an all-time high. They seem to be coming down some now, but things, the stock market looks a little different. But I'm saying all of that to say, she said she promised to help with the high cost of living. And so honestly, when people say I promise to do that, they really need to be held accountable. If you go to a place and put somebody in office and say, hey, I'm going to do this, you really need to be held accountable. An example of that is that
30 seconds.
I just want to finish. I'm almost finished. See, I'm saying I got to finish, and that's my 20. And now I got 15 seconds. In a recent election, we just elected another governor. What's his name? Landry. And one of the things he said, which I did not vote for him, but one of the things he said was, I promised to help with the crime in New Orleans. Well, crime has decreased, not a lot, but enough to you can see the numbers, and that's effectiveness.
You think he's doing that?
Yes, I do.
We're gonna save that for another topic. Let me get off that because that's a heated discussion for me, because that guy is not for us. Let's get the.
So again,
Ernst, we're not gonna go there.
That's okay, Trent. I just want to say one thing. Just listen. Why? How could you say he's not
for us? Let's get to the comment.
It's not about him.
The guy's a racist, Ernst. He's Ernst. Let's get to the comment.
I didn't say he wasn't. I'm just saying he said I promised to help crack down on a crime in New Orleans, and he did. They have a whole troop NOLA that he had to. That's state troopers.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is where Ernst and I differ.
Yeah, he did it by over-policing and throwing more black men in jail for lesser crimes.
Let's get to that comment, Shannon. It's where Ernst and I differ on that one.
Oh, you want me to talk now?
Yeah, go ahead, Shannon.
All right, we're going to be quick so we can close out. It's already 14 after the hour. So Mark said 2 things. New Orleans and Jefferson Parish aren't Louisiana, just as Atlanta ain't Georgia. You have to consider the demographics and not the color. Very true. However, last election, Georgia did go blue, so it is very possible. And his last comment was the 3rd district has been gerrymandered. There's Piggly Wiggly in Westwego and Walmart in Elmwood and Luling. Even the Winn-Dixie and Westwego closed. So the bottom line is get out there and vote. Don't just not just the presidential part, but as Dee mentioned before, you've got to do the down ballot. All that matters. If we don't have people there to support the president, their policies are not going to be able to move forward.
And as I close, I want the viewers to know that Ernst and I, we're always going back and forth debating on certain topics, and they know I get hot-headed when they go to talking against the black folk. And
listen.
We're not going to do that, Ernst.
I'm not doing anything. See, You
Let me-
being
let me-
rude
let me
right now.
close-
You being
let me
rude,
close
Fred.
out.
You
Let me
being
close
rude.
out.
Okay,
So-
how about this? How about this? It is 15 after the hour. I think we've done a great job talking about the black man and all the emasculation stuff. The election is on Tuesday. For those viewers in the United States who have not voted, please take the opportunity to exercise your right to vote. We can continue this discussion off camera because we all have tomorrow's the beginning of a new week. And some
Trent,
of us
I
have
just
other
want to say one
things.
thing. Trent, you know firsthand that I'm about our people. You know firsthand. You know that. You know that. But our people have to do better. And you know what? It doesn't bother anybody until it's at their front door. You know, and that's all I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying?
On that note,
Because we had a conversation, and I'm like, that couldn't have happened to you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm about our people.
Okay, all right.
I gotta run.
Note, you guys be
Bye,
epic.
D. I've got to run too.
Spotify, Apple, all that good
Talk about what the projects we working on.
Have a great night, everyone. Bye.
You guys be epic.
Conversations with Trent in conjunction with Taylor Kennedy Media and your radio network would like to thank you for calling in and listening to tonight's episode. We hope that tonight's conversation offended you just enough to turn your mirror inward to come back for more. So until next week's conversation, be epic.